Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Anything Wrestling Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of everyone on the Anything Wrestling Podcast, we would like to wish everyone who's listening a happy holidays. Hope that you're having a great time wherever you are or wherever you're going around the world to celebrate whatever it is that you celebrate. We are back here today. We got the whole crew back together. It is the Shant, Dan the Man.
No, actually, that was a legitimate cough this time. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Commish. Not only do I wish everyone out in the world a very happy holiday and a safe new year coming, but I also like to be the advocate of this wonderful episode that we got for you guys today. It's 2018, guys. It's already coming to an end.
Well, if this new regime is any consolation, I think that 2019 might be a brighter year. But speaking of 2018, we are doing our own special version of the Slammies, I guess you can say. Basically how it works is that we got about 15 topics here that we've crumpled up into a hat. We don't know what each person wrote. Every person wrote about 5 topics each. We're all going to pick them out one by one randomly, and we're going to go across the board and just kind of discuss it. Everyone gives their take, they give their nominations, and ultimately just one choice of who they would pick to be the winner of that category. Gentlemen, shall we start?
Well, before that, we should mention some sponsors. I mean, we are sponsored by...
That is right. You can catch all your favorite WWE programming only on the WWE Network, where you can get it for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
$9.99?
It's not $10.
It's not $1,000.
Not $1 million.
But only
$9.99. And?
Also, I'm brought to you in part by McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Go have a sausage McMuffin in the morning.
And baseball hats. Need to hold some stuff? Put it in a baseball hat.
Okay, since this was kind of like a universal topic today that we all decided on, our fearless leader, our, I guess, regime leader as well, the Shant, I think you should pick our first topic.
Sounds good. Let's do it. Okay, picking the first one right now.
Uh-oh. It's one of mine.
Best debut of 2018. Gentlemen, your nominations and your ultimate winner.
Let's see. Dan, you want to take this one?
Well, I wrote a handful of names. I'll give a couple. So I did this based on new appearances. So like even if you were in NXT, if you came up to the main roster, you got called up, you debuted on that program. So I know we haven't seen a whole lot of it, but we got Mustafa Ali coming up to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I got Io Shirai, Ember Moon to Raw, Andrade to SmackDown, Ronda.
To his strong disdain.
And Samoa Joe coming over to SmackDown.
I'm gonna only pick a few of those, just because of what I can kind of remember since I kind of started in like April, like fully committed back to 2018. I will have to say Samoa Joe is one of my nominations, along with Mustafa Ali, because I think Mustafa Ali just alone, he went from 205 literally to like SmackDown, and he's not trying to be like the cruiserweight. He's trying to be a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And I do have to throw her in as much to your strong disdain. The beginning of January, Miss I can't even remember the initials right now. It's so many. And Ember Moon. I kind of agree with Dan's picks. Like those would be my nominations as well. Mostly Joe and Ali.
I see. Well, I would have to go with Mustafa Ali as being one of the nominations. I don't know if this counts, because I don't know if you were going for but would Daniel Bryan count? Because
I have him listed as something else.
Okay.
I think I know where you have him listed as.
Mustafa Ali's in there. Io Shirai definitely. Tony Storm was pretty good.
this is one to throw in maybe because she only had like a 1-match debut on the main roster, but it seems like she is coming soon. Who was the girl that faced
Nikki Cross?
Yeah,
Oh.
Nikki Cross.
I did have her penciled in, but because it was just one match and
But
we
still-
haven't seen anything else from it, I kind of scratched her off. But
I give it because now she's being put as one of the main 5 from NXT coming
Right.
yeah.
to a main roster. She just has to pick where. But
play with you, Becky.
I'll play with you. I thought she was very impactful
I like Nikki.
in her one SmackDown match. She
Yes.
she
Yes,
made
she
her
was.
presence known, and she did give the man a challenge.
She's
This is true.
she's so weird, but she's endearing.
Shall we go around for who your winners are?
I think like most of us have like this guy picked already just because he's already made an impact.
I think he's already made an impact. He is, we were talking just before we started about how do you feel about this new era.
Yeah.
And I think that his booking so far has been pretty. It's been the marquee booking for this new era
Right.
so far. Because, yeah, Mustafa Ali, I think, is our unanimous selection on this
Yes.
one.
Mustafa
So here's to 2019 and seeing where WWE hopefully continues to take you.
And does not screw you up and put you in the back of the line. Dan the man, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with.
Here we go.
There we go. I wanted to try and not pick one of mine. Superstar who was underutilized the most.
In 2018.
Let's see. There's so many to go from because you can do the men's roster, you can do the women's roster.
I got my winner picked out already. I can list a few. Shinsuke Nakamura for one. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. I don't know if this counts because we kind of said it. She's kind of had a revival. Asuka, Samoa Joe. That would have to be on
Well,
nomination
okay.
for now.
I'll tell you mine. Mine are just a few with this topic, honestly. It would be Shinsuke just because you have a United States champion barely on TV with a belt. That is like a strong nomination right there.
And I completely forgot about this. He won the Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah.
What
the hell?
Just completely
What in the holy flying fuck? He's won. Asuka just because at one point the first 3-4 months she's there and then she's just gone from TV for a good part. As far as if I have to think of somebody on Raw,
I would say Sasha and Bailey.
they were there. my point in
Our sentiments exactly.
so those would be my nominations with those 4.
Dan,
And-
nominations? Oh, I'm sorry, were you done?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
First one came to mind was Asuka. Nakamura. Yeah. I put down Joe just now when we were going through it. I think he got used enough to where I probably wouldn't pick him myself.
Oh, Wendy.
It didn't say he was used well. Rusev.
Oh. Well, if SmackDown has anything to go by,
Yeah. Moving forward, but for the rest of 2018, I think he kind of fell by the wayside. And then I put Ember. Because I think we had
big
high
time.
hopes for Ember when she first got called up, but she's unfortunately a victim of circumstance, very much the way of the men's division on Raw with
Yes.
Brock. Because they already had plans for Brock to be the champion, so the men's superstars kind of suffered. Same thing here with Ronda. I think if Ronda wasn't around right now, I think we probably would have seen Ember get the title at some point during the year. Yeah, fuck Nia Jax.
AKA hashtag that does not belong to you because you're an idiot.
that's a pretty long hashtag. Our winners, I'm just going to say mine is Shinsuke. Royal Rumble winner, United States champion, Japanese sensation, king of strong style, and you did nothing.
I'm gonna say Shinsuke too.
I'll agree. I wanted to say Asuka, but looking at the whole picture, yeah, Nakamura is the biggest.
Disappointment.
Biggest, yeah.
And underutilization ever.
Kamish, go ahead.
Wow, this is one of mine. Early 2019 MVP.
Now, when you say MVP,
Like, who do you feel going into the new year is gonna be like that impact for the following year? Like, really, like, we all have like our own sentiments of who's gonna get the push, who, I'm sorry, deserves the push, and like who's gonna be like quote unquote the man next year. But what do you guys think out of like the current roster or who we have coming in from NXT is gonna get like most notable recognition? Because we kind of saw it this year, unfortunately, with in the women's division with Ronda. We unexpectedly saw it with Becky Lynch this whole year, and then as far as the men's division overall, Daniel Bryan, along with a comeback, he got a major push to be an MVP. And if it's Raw, I would say who was... You know what? I'm going to throw this out there. I would think for 2018 it would have been Drew McIntyre.
or Seth.
But who do you see the next year? Like,
Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
I'll throw a couple nominations out there. I think that Seth could once again make an impact considering how you use him, because this year, at the beginning of the year, he was being utilized to the fullest extent. Then the whole thing with the Shield kind of fell apart. Drew, I have penciled in already as a Royal Rumble candidate to win the whole match. Sami Zayn is coming back. If you can get your shit together with him, I think he can make an impact. Maybe even AJ Styles. I think, I don't know if you guys saw the ending of SmackDown where he strikes Mr. McMahon. A sign of things to come, maybe, with a good heel turn and just really good character work. But those are my nominations.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go along with saying that Drew McIntyre would get a push for sure, just because we've seen the impact he's made coming back as, I think, one of the strongest heels ever in 2018. Maybe 2019 is his year. Maybe we get some kind of face turn for him later on in the year. A championship around his waist. I don't want to say Universal. Maybe there's a shake-up where he gets drafted to SmackDown.
Ooh.
Who else do I have in mind?
Well,
I actually want this, not just because of you, because I think of you, Shot, but maybe Cesaro. Just to see maybe if your thing happens where the bar gets disbanded and he gets the push that he deserves. If I'm gonna have to say like the women's roster, what's her name? Toni Storm.
Yeah.
She's like one of my early nominations just because like she's already making an impact at NXT and she's really getting a push there right now, especially against Rhea Ripley.
Well, I was just thinking, they got about 6 NXT superstars coming to the main roster, and Nikki Cross is one of them. So I think if Nikki Cross gets utilized correctly, unlike Dean Ambrose, where she's like the lunatic of the women's division, you can get some really good TV, content with her.
And this is where it comes in my early one that the one just, I think he's just a genetic freak, Lars Sullivan.
Lars Sullivan, yep.
Like you get that guy the right management. Let's just say a Mr. Advocate himself to control that beast instead of Brock. You put Paul Heyman right with him, he'll make a strong impact.
That'd be interesting.
But those would be my nominations right now.
Dan?
I scratched down Drew, Bryan, Becky, and Mustafa. I'm gonna out of those, I'm more inclined toward Drew because I think that they've got a bigger picture in mind for him for the next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, so far looks like they've had the booking pretty solid for him. So
yeah, let's just hope that we don't course correct out of nowhere. But I like where Bryan's going. I like where Mustafa's going. I like the eventuality of Becky. But I think Drew is probably your marquee superstar for 2019.
So our winner, I'm gonna say Drew. I'm looking at it as the one guy that really hasn't been up there, and who's gonna be there in 2019.
I'm gonna say Drew as well, just because he's at the ceiling and he's looking to break through it And it's going to happen. I think not only is it deserved, but I think Vince is finally going to get what he's wanted for such a long time with Drew. And he finally gets to see that happen.
We get to see the Chosen One in his best form.
Why not?
Dan, you're
I'm
winner?
Drew. I'm Drew.
There it is. So,
Drew
next topic.
McIntyre, congratulations on early 2019 MVP.
So that's one of mine.
Oh no.
Worst pay-per-view show of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
I don't even need to make notes.
I don't either because let's just hear your nominations.
Nominations: Extreme Rules, SummerSlam, Crown Jewel, Greatest Royal Rumble,
Brother.
and
I think those are your 4. You really
Backlash.
Wow. I'm going to have to just use your first 4 only.
Okay.
I kind of was okay with Backlash. Kind of. I didn't say it's not up there, but I'm just saying your first 4 are my nominations.
Hashtag people left the building. Dan?
I'm all in on Crown Jewel. That was a garbage fire.
By
Brother.
the way, you cannot catch Outland only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
Okay, if you're both saying Crown Jewel, honestly, out of, like I said, your 4, because I put all 4 of them in a dumpster fire. Really.
My winner, even as I was writing it, was Crown Jewel. My winner is Crown Jewel.
I'm kind of stuck between Crown Jewel and Greatest Royal Rumble.
Greatest Royal Rumble at least had some entertainment.
Yeah, you didn't have a guy enter a
it had
tournament.
laugh moments. That's what it was.
You didn't have a guy entering a tournament at the last minute and saying, "Oh, I'm the winner."
Hey, Shane's the best in the world.
Well,
Is he?
2/3.
Is he?
1/3. He's 1/3 of the best in the world.
All right.
Because Miz won the other.
I'm just gonna pick the winner for us, Crown Jewel.
CJ.
Brother.
CJ.
Thanks a lot, Vince. Thanks a lot, Hulk. And at least the only thing that I saw was fireworks. That's made me happy.
We just keep picking our own things. Well, this works to follow up on the first one. Worst debut of 2018. So I wrote down a couple. I was going through a couple lists to even remember some of these. I put the Iconics, Sanity.
Oh my God.
I also put Andrade. Well, not because he's bad. It's just because he was also underutilized.
Yeah.
So it was sort of a waste to bring him in.
Right.
Leo. Lashley.
He got married, by the way.
Congratulations. Also, the Authors of Pain. Those are my 5 that I've got on here.
I'm gonna say because she's only been utilized in this same tag team match on Raw and the same opponent almost for a good half of the year. Ember Moon's one of them. Sanity is another strong nomination. The Authors of Pain, just because it's like you have a brute force of a tag team, but it's like let's just stick
Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick with them, and just not do shit.
I'm sure that pissed a lot of people off.
Oh, I'm sure he was pretty pissed.
Urine.
Well, you're in trouble if you're doing that.
And I'm gonna also give a nomination to the Iconics, because honestly, you got a pay-per-view of your own in your own hometown, and you did nothing.
They won.
Yeah, but it wasn't even impactful of a win.
That is true.
That is true.
It's damn true.
Woo!
Your picks?
I'm pretty much up there, and I got my winner chosen already.
Who is it?
It's Sanity. Sanity was a team where I think they just attacked the New Day for the first weeks of their debut and then had a pre-show match and then just disappeared. Like with Andrade or with Ember, at least you saw them on TV. Sanity was like, oh yeah, where's Sanity? Where are they again? Like, was it a one-time deal on SmackDown? Are they back in NXT? They're just not there. Like, the only time that we've seen them is when they're like, Nikki Cross is here, and then they go back into the backstage area.
I might say Sanity. Oh, yeah. That's my pick.
Because everyone else at least had some screen time. These poor guys are like, they're there, then they're not there.
Yeah.
Dan, would you say as well?
I'm on the fence between Sanity and AOP, mostly because of the way AOP was utilized, but I think Sanity takes the win on this one.
AOP had the tag belts.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, they got something.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I just
Sanity
mean,
got nothing.
I mean, the fact that we were, like, they got the tag belts, and then we immediately veered left, and then they dropped the tag belts. And now we're in this, we're where we're at right now.
So it was.
But no, I'm still going to go with Sanity because I think that they're the biggest waste out of it.
Congratulations for being extremely
So
underutilized.
you would say it was like a swerve? You can catch Swerve only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable, very reasonable price of only $9.99.
All right, let's see what I get.
Kamish, don't pick yours for Christ's
I'm
sake.
hoping that if I do, I'm putting mine back in. Yep.
It's yours?
Yep. I need to pick another one.
Fine. Shuffle it. Shuffle it.
Why does it matter?
Because I want to talk about one of yours instead of one of mine. Best program. I'm assuming feud. Okay.
Yeah.
Of 2018.
Oh, I got mine.
I've got 5 candidates that I wrote down, so go ahead, Sean.
Yeah.
Some of them would have to be AJ versus Daniel Bryan, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte, Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler, those would have to be mine for now.
Okay. I have mine. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Everyone's favorite general manager elect.
Okay. Seth versus Dolph Ziggler's up there as well, just because I love the rivalry they had for a good part of the whole year almost.
By the way, we still hate Pittsburgh.
Kurt has to live with that for his life.
It's true. It's
Becky versus Charlotte, just because you got, I think, the greatest ending half of the year with those two. And I'm going to say AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. As much as I hated the angle they made Joe go in, they've had rivalries in the past in Impact. But I think it culminated even better with what the psychology and what they could do with it in WWE. Personally, those would be my 4 picks.
Dan?
I also had Becky versus Charlotte. I had Daniel Bryan versus AJ. And the other ones that I had, I did this one just out of necessity. Roman versus Brock. I just put it on there because it happened.
Yeah, it's on for a good part of the year. You can't say it wasn't.
But was it good?
I'm not saying it necessarily was. I'm just putting it out there.
We're saying the rivalry. You don't have to really include
I just thought of
the
one.
matches.
Gargano and Black.
Yes.
Ooh.
And Baszler and Sane.
If I could just throw this in there, Undertaker versus John Cena.
You're a clown.
That was super short. Shorter than Leo Rush.
That's awfully short notice.
Huh.
All right, our winners. Who's going first? I feel like I'm always going first. You guys state your winners
I'm
first.
going to pick Becky versus Charlotte.
I'm right
just
there with
because of the fact that not only... Okay, the WWE Universe swears they want to make her into the biggest heel ever.
Well, the company does.
Yeah. But part of the universe agrees with it. However, the rest of the universe, along with us, agree that she had the greatest turn as far as becoming the anti-hero we've always needed. And we started seeing what I've been wanting to see in a while out of Charlotte. A mean streak and a vicious side of her that it's like I think with this she's stepping out of her dad's shadow slowly.
Yes.
Because it's like you're not going in as a styling, profiling, limousine riding jet flying, wheeling, dealing. You know, you're not doing that. You were at first, but now you're like, no, I'm gonna prove I'm more than just a Flair. Like, I'm my own Flair. I'm Charlotte. That's what I loved about these two this year.
I would say Charlotte and Becky, simply because I was mesmerized. I was glued to my screen when Becky would come out, and it's like you were just waiting to see what the next segment was going to be. You were waiting. And their match back in Hell in a Cell, where Becky wins the title, was an awesome one-on-one match. You know, there was no cheating, there was no shenanigans. You know, Becky just straight up won the title and proved to everyone that she truly is the man. Yeah, that's definitely my feud of the year.
Dan?
While I think that Baszler and Sane was a good feud, like, had some good matches, and Gargano and Black told a really good story.
Yes.
And I'm excited about where the new Daniel Bryan's going to take us into 2019. Yeah, Becky and Charlotte wins.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Becky and Charlotte for giving us the greatest 2018 feud of the year.
For giving us the greatest Royal Rumble.
Your turn to pick out of the hat, Sean.
Moving forward. "2018 what moment of the year?"
It's like mine.
So explain to us what this is again.
So what I think of, like, it's not just literally the whole Stone Cold what type of feeling. It has something to do with that, but you're also literally just like watching Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, like, what? Like, you're confused about, like, what the hell's going on. Like, you're really like, this is really happening? What?
I got mine.
Go ahead.
Crown Jewel.
The whole event?
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, okay. In all fairness, if I could be serious for a minute, first half of the pay-per-view was solid. They were going through all the tournament matches one by one. I'm like, okay, I can dig this. All right, cool. Then the second half just goes to shit where you're like, I literally turned to Kevin. I'm like, when Brock won the title, I'm like, Kevin, what just happened?
What?
And he's like, Brock won the title. I'm like,
What?
cool. Back to square one.
All right, so that's just your one nomination
Dean and Seth's entire feud
right now.
right now.
Okay.
No, the match. The match at TLC. Never mind the commentary, but the match itself, where you're like,
This is boring.
it's like, what the hell's going on?
This is boring.
Ronda Rousey's promos.
Oh, dear God.
Well, they are.
Even with her one saving promo against the Bellas.
I will end you.
What?
And I will take your arm.
Okay.
Yeah, those are some of my moments of the year.
All right. Dan, you want to take this or you want me to go?
I can throw mine out there. I got Maverick Piss.
What?
Ambrose getting his vaccinations.
What?
Best in the world tournament. I'll concede that
The
one.
whole tournament or just the
Just
end?
the ending.
Just the
Okay.
ending, yeah.
What?
Roman spearing Brock through the cage
At Greatest Royal Rumble?
at Greatest Royal Rumble.
What?
Hashtag zip ties.
And Nia Jax, freshly minted as the Raw Women's Champion, challenging Ronda Rousey to a title match.
Yeah, that was...
What?
That is indirectly handing her shit without, like, directly handing it to her.
What?
You heard me.
So those are mine.
Okay. So here's mine. Crown Jewel. What?
The whole thing?
After the tag match and after
Whenever that was.
after the whole getting to the finals of the tournament and after the tag
The second half of the pit, I
Yeah.
think that's what we're all kind of in
Okay.
unison about.
So there's that. The three women rivalry with Alexa, Ronda, and Nia. That literally had me like, what are we doing with these three? And that I say that because it caused Alexa to miss action for the rest of the year. Dean Ambrose's Batman Bane moment what direction are you guys going with this?
You people are disgusting.
Oh, God, you're not a fucking cartoon villain.
And that horn during his entrance is so annoying.
I hate that it fades out as quickly as it does. Like it would be less obtrusive if it faded out longer and then did it again. But it like,
yeah, it's just out of
and
nowhere.
it just like it happens too frequently.
When I hear it, I just think of Perry Saturn.
I don't know. I kind of like Perry Saturn's music a little bit.
Moppy.
Here's another, and this is my only other what moment, and that would be
hold on.
Pittsburgh, counting down every other fucking minute.
That's not a what moment. That's shut the fuck up moment.
No, but that's still a what moment.
Is
because
that still in the hat?
That's a what
Write
moment
it in.
because honestly, it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, why can't you just shut the hell up?
Dan,
Why can't you shut your damn mouths?
I love how he PGs everything.
But yeah,
Know your role and shut your damn mouth.
Silence your cell phones. Hold your applause.
and this is why I ruined it. And shut the fuck up.
Thank you. That should be a t-shirt.
I got one more that we didn't address yet, but I think could conceivably be a
What?
sleeper candidate. Ronda Rousey's makeup.
What?
Exactly.
Just because we ourselves have created a whole segment of it with a nickname.
What's the full name?
Mouse, rat, raccoon, bluebird, red wing, kabuki. So far,
Kabuki.
is 2019 has so much in store for us with that ugly broad's makeup. Her whole scowling face is a what? Look. That's why she needs the makeup. And even then, when she gets her ass beat, what is on her face?
Her face is so one-dimensional.
What?
It's like there's nothing there.
What?
Like it's stale.
What?
Like it's dull.
What?
Like no reaction.
What?
Like what the hell are you doing?
Okay. Who do you guys, or what do you guys pick as the what moment of 2018 overall?
Second half of Crown Jewel.
Dan?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna limit it more. I'm gonna say specifically the. Nah, fuck it. Second half of Crown Jewel.
What were you gonna say first?
I was gonna say the best in the world tournament specifically, but nah. I'll go with the whole second half.
I'm going to say it too because you have a botched finals. The way you gave up the fucking Universal Championship, and then just the end was just like
5 at 5s.
no, but the end being an undeserved tag team match because they're all in their prime or way past it,
and torn pectoral muscles, you know.
and Kane's wig.
And Sean being bald.
Bald Sean.
What? So there you go. That's our.
I don't
pick.
know why Bald Sean wasn't his own category for this one.
Because he's part of Crown Jewel.
It's true. But
Well, we could do that. Like
we saw him
worst
bald beforehand.
unsettling look of the year.
You can't just throw in one. But, okay, guys, just so you know, our pick is the 2018 What Moment of the Year, the second half of Crown Jewel, in which you can find where?
You can catch it
Reluctantly.
only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable, very reasonable price of only $9.99.
$9.99.
$9.99.
It's not $10.
It's not $1,000.
Not $1 million.
But only.
$9.99.
Dan, go ahead.
I think he picked.
Was that me?
Did you pick the What Moment?
No,
or-
the
Oh,
what
yeah.
was mine. Yeah.
So it is me.
I apologize.
It's alright, censor.
Botch of the year.
Was that mine too?
I'm assuming, did you write botch of the year?
Yes, I got it.
I can
I
only
got
think
it.
of one.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Titus, World Slide.
Yup.
Moving on.
Well, it was that or the zip ties. Come on, it's a steel cage.
Yeah, but it's like with WWE.
I find it more believable with a Big Show through Austin through that type of cage than I do with this type of cage, okay? But really, it goes to Titus O'Neil.
Okay, so nominations, because I think that's only fair. Titus's World Slide. I guess the zip ties.
The Kevin Owens table.
Yes. The inflatable table. Come on. Here's another botch. Braun Strowman being handcuffed.
Where he could have easily gotten out of that thing.
Where they just had to sell it for 5 minutes. Yeah. That's up there as well.
Oh, yeah, here's another botch. Crown Jewel.
Nia's punch to the face. Are we not counting that one as a botch? Are we just counting
Was that
as
a botch or was that like
dick move of the
intentional?
year?
Yeah.
I call it dick move of the year.
How about referee sliding Becky the chair with his foot?
Oh, Mikey, what a why.
Mikey.
Mike, you had one job.
You had one job, Mikey.
By the way, Mike, I think you could be back in better shape, so please lose some weight this year. As old as he's getting.
Specifically, the main event of Crown Jewel, there was like 50 botches in this match.
The whole match was a botch.
Dan?
Oh, jeez.
But my winner is still Titus World Slide.
It deserves recognition. Now that it came up, though, I'm going to go with the Crown Jewel main event. Just because of how many fucking things went wrong with that.
Well,
and who suffered the most out of it with the injury?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is like when you have one working leg and one working arm, chances are this, like that double Irish whip where they just both go into the barricade.
Just kind of careen into the barricade.
And then Kane's mask falls off. The camera goes to Shawn for like 30 seconds. And you go back to Kane, and he still doesn't have his mask on.
And then he gets moonsaulted.
Lands on his head.
And then he gets his mask back. I just took a knee to face. And now I gotta focus on putting my face back on.
Was that in 2018 too, where Shinsuke drops John Cena on his head? That was in 2018 too, right?
So, yeah.
So that's another botch.
But either way, like I love that this topic came up. Thank God I came up with it. Crown Jewel.
Oh yeah, and Ronda Rousey's entire career.
No, come on.
Yes.
Anyways.
So we got two Tituses and a Crown Jewel main event. Is that what I get?
And they were both in
2018.
Specifically, they were in that one place that
they were both in
brother.
So that's our pick.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Most anticipated call-up of 2019. Dan, this is yours, right?
Yes.
Now, explain to us what you mean by this.
So, this one, I'm mostly looking specifically at NXT superstars.
Okay.
And who could be brought up to the main roster. Or to a main program. So, who you think, who you're most excited about potentially seeing on the main roster? I'll throw some names out there, and then you guys can limit the field. So
okay.
I put Io Shirai. I think she's probably going to be in NXT for a minute, so I'm not holding my breath on that one, but I would like to see her on the main roster. Aleister Black, Lars Sullivan, Shayna, The Undisputed Era.
You would like Shayna coming in because that brings him one step closer to what, Dan?
The Four Horsewomen versus the Four Horsewomen.
There it is.
The entirety of Undisputed Era. Johnny Gargano, Ciampa, and Velveteen Dream.
Is it bad that I don't want them to come to the main roster?
Who, Yui?
Everyone.
All of them. Just stay in NXT where you're safe.
Like every single person
where you're safe and warm.
Because
you have to have someone eventually come up.
Well, because I'm afraid. I'm like, they go to the main roster and they
You're afraid because of what you saw this year happen to who came up. This year.
And the years before.
But we have the new era, Shant.
Vince wants to get involved again.
Have faith.
To limit yours down and to put one on there. So I'm thinking she's coming in 2019 because so Nikki Cross would have to be one.
Yeah.
Aleister Black, Undisputed Era. Are we just talking inside WWE or outside as well?
Yeah. If you
have a nominee, go for it.
It's not going to happen. I know it's not, but I'm just going to throw it out there.
Kenny. Or Cody.
No, it's CM Punk.
Punk? Really?
like I said,
back.
I have no faith in it happening, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Triple H really has to bury that hatchet then.
Well, he kind of has.
Not
all
as
the
much.
past people who've come into the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
so far.
So
But that's like super, super way back in the day. Okay.
Nominations?
Mine are Nikki Cross as well. Lars Sullivan is a big one there. Undisputed. The whole team as well. I'm actually going to throw this name in just because I would like to see him back because I think he could really just turn everything around. Cody.
Wow.
Maybe he brings...
That's what I was thinking, because
Omega?
now he's got his whole entourage with him, so I think if one comes, everyone comes.
Yeah, but look at how much chaos you could have if he brings all of them.
But are you going to be able to tell a good story if he does come in?
You can. This time you can.
Stardust?
Okay, again, they've seen what he's become in the last few years after that. I don't think they're going to fuck him over, and I'm pretty sure he will have creative control of his own character at that point. I think so. Just because of how big he's become with winning, the NWA championship?
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, those would be my nominees. I think, most of us have equally said Nikki Cross is like one of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we nominate her as the winner?
She's my winner. Because I think the women's programming now has hooked me more than the men's program. So with everything that Becky's doing and Charlotte is doing and that all the women are doing, I think if Nikki comes in there, she will fit in like a glove.
So congratulations, Nikki Cross. You are the 2019 most anticipated.
Dan, was Nikki Cross yours?
Yeah, I like her. I'll go with it.
I'll play with Nikki.
Hey, what's your Nikki?
Who chose the last one?
I did, so it's you.
For the Rock.
For the people.
Most effective return of 2018. I got mine.
Go ahead.
So some nominations. Daniel Bryan obviously would have to be there. Who else came back this year?
I wrote down some names if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got Drew.
Yes.
Ray.
Are we talking like return to main roster or return to Raw? Because Drew came back to NXT.
Return to the company, but or main roster. For Drew, I did main roster.
Okay.
Because he'd been in NXT, but he had been on the roster before. So I was basically back where you belong.
Okay.
So I got Drew, Ray, Bryan, Taker, Kane, and Dean are just the names that I wrote down. Like I said, not all of these are reflective of my opinions.
Dean.
But
So what are your nominations, Sean?
Based off of that, Daniel Bryan, Drew, Dean, and Trish and Lita.
Huh.
I almost put them down.
Yeah.
I just say I only really have two because don't get me wrong, that list is pretty good, but none of them have really like made me feel like they've made a strong impact other than Dean and Drew. Just because Ray came back, I think it was so like underwhelming because it's like, okay, we've been expecting you back for so many years. Now that you're back, I haven't really seen much with you so far. Underutilization. And then with the Undertaker, yeah, you did something that made Sean very happy at WrestleMania, but then you did something really upsetting at Crown Jewel, and it wasn't as impactful as I wanted it to be. And then I would say with Kane, it's like he had so much going for him this year outside of the WWE, so it didn't really seem like as much of an impact to me. I'm just saying. So that's why I only limited to Dean and Drew. Those are my nominations right there. Dan?
I think I'm gonna lean toward I think I'm going to lean toward Drew again. I think he's been the most, like I said, most effective.
Return.
I will say this. I, for a second, was going to say Daniel, but then I remembered how his comeback was meh. And then he did almost nothing up until, like, a month ago. But Drew has been the one constant where it's like, you see him, and time after time, it's consistent, it's solid, it's booked well. So, had it not been for the meh in Daniel Bryan's comeback, I would say him. But because it is, I'm going to have to go with Drew as my winner.
I only said Dean and Drew. And it seems like between the two, the most consistent in his return, practically almost had an undefeated streak this year.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre. I think he's going to be my pick as well.
Cool. So Drew it is.
Drew it is. Go ahead, Dan.
Congratulations, Drew. Dan, your turn. No, not so anticlimactic.
Superstar who most deserved a push in 2018, but did not get one.
Two people who are basically my nominations, and I'll try to think of more. Finn Balor, Dolph Ziggler, Dean, Asuka, Sasha and Bailey.
Okay, I'll go next. Sasha and Bailey. Ideally, just Bailey, if I'm going to be honest, between those two. Asuka is up there as well.
Asuka.
Who else? Dolph is ideally my number one pick of this.
Yeah.
Just because you're doing so well, but yet you're still being kind of foreshadowed or overshadowed by Drew. But it's we're not doing much with you. And who was it? Ember Moon.
Yeah, that's another
Just
one.
because it's you got put up to the main roster. There could have been so much potential with her being involved in the Raw Women's division, but you did nothing with it, and you stuck her with fucking Nia and Tamina.
Oh yeah, Tamina's still there.
Who?
Exactly.
Yeah, those are my picks.
Dan?
I think I'm good with the people you guys have listed so far, so I don't need to add anybody else.
Well, I got my winner picked out. It will, for the last couple of years, it's been, and it will still be until he gets a push, is Dolph Ziggler. Number 2, almost immediately right up there, is Finn Balor.
Yeah, those are my two glaring ones. I love Dolph, but I think Finn's gonna edge him out for me, given the fact that Finn is your first ever Universal Champion, and he gets hurt. He relinquishes the belt.
Never loses it.
Never loses it, and he never really gets his return match.
Yeah.
I think. Did he get to fight Roman right after Roman won it, and that was supposed to be our blow off?
Yeah, but they quickly had him defeat Finn, and then the Shield reunited when Strowman tried to cash in.
Yeah,
Which I thought was stupid, because you could have just done a no contest and then gone to the Shield, and that way Finn could still say, I still didn't get my fair one-on-one shot, but what do I know?
Yeah, and the thing with Finn for me is that I think I had read that he had somehow been brandished as not reliable when he got injured. He was fragile. They like to brand some people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the dude's been hurt one time. What the fuck are you talking about? So I'm gonna give it to Finn myself.
Okay.
But Dolph's a close second.
So we got Dolph, Finn, Kamish.
Since it seems like I'm the tiebreaker here, I'm gonna have to pick. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Okay.
Finn. Because again, you took someone who got a strong push in the beginning, put him to main event status. You put the Universal Championship on him. Then all of a sudden, one minor injury, and he's done. Like, he's done for the year. And then you put him as not even mid-carder, even though he kind of seems like he's been on the mid-card. You kind of relegate him to having shit matches with a lot of people, including dumbass Corbin.
Well, I feel like with Dolph, a lot of people look at it as like a lost cause, where it's like you're at that point where you're like, the guy's not getting a push, just accept it and move on. Whereas opposed to Finn, it's like, you know what? It's only been like 2 years since he had the whole Universal title. There's still a chance, But with Dolph, it's like, lost cause. But for me, it's like I'm still rooting for the guy. So Dolph is my number one. Hey, did you guys ever notice if Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler made a tag team, it would be called Dolphin?
You just wanted to sneak that in, did you?
I had to.
But congratulations, Finn. You win this one in particular.
But I'm still voting for you, Dolph, so.
Alright, this is mine. That's fine to talk about it. General manager moment of 2018. Now, what I mean by this is what sticks out to you as far as, like, maybe Kurt, maybe Paige, maybe
Baron Corbin.
Yeah, that piece of shit. Like, what thing did they do that really just stuck out to you? I can name probably only one moment that sticks out a lot to me.
Are we just talking about a moment, or are we talking about, like, progressively what the general manager has been specifically doing? Like, if they've
Doesn't
been...
matter.
Okay.
Are we looking for something that's good? Like, is
It
this
could
like
be good,
best GM mode? Best GM mode. Whoops.
You threw that in there, didn't you?
Best GM moment, or just standout moment?
It could be a little bit of whatever you like of it to be.
Okay.
Well, I think Sean has his.
I got some moments picked out. I would say that Paige's entire GM run was consistent. It was awesome. I loved seeing her. Just how brief she kind of made her appearance of, like, here's what's going on. Okay, go. And she would just kind of step out of the frame. Baron Corbin taking that beating at TLC was pretty fun.
Yes, it was. It was amazing.
Kurt Angle's GM run was meh. I don't really recall too many things.
Just him getting frustrated with Baron was always funny. Him saying fuck on live TV was funny.
TNA's hiring. Actually, that was one.
That was awesome.
Those are kind of my stick out moments. So,
no, I guess that one doesn't really count. Never mind.
What?
I had Kurt dancing in reference to when he dressed up as the Conquistador to qualify for the best in the world, but he wasn't technically the GM. I guess I could go with Baron Corbin losing to Kurt in the best in the world tournament. But
Shane McMahon winning the tournament.
Well, I almost went with that, but he's the commissioner, so I wrote that one off. I think I'm gonna throw out Brian
Getting attacked?
Stepping out of the GM position to return to the ring. So I think that's my nomination, is Brian's return to action from being the GM.
Is that your winner, or those are your nominations?
That's my nomination.
Okay.
Well, so that's one of my nominations there, is him stepping out so we can find something back in competition, because he was the GM. I would say Paige being elected as the new GM of SmackDown, because she did a hell of a good job. She got straight to the point. She didn't, like, really take anyone as far as, like, comedic or whatever. No, she laid down the law. I would say Kurt saying fuck on live TV, even though it was like kind of mouthed off.
Yeah.
But you could see his frustration. This was one of my moments as well. Seeing R-Truth interfere with Paige and Carmella's conversation about just being able to pin anyone to get a U.S. Championship match.
Stupid.
And yeah, those are my nominees.
My winner would have to be just Paige's entire run. Every time she showed up, and I don't know if you guys caught this, but when, I think it was like a week ago where Miz had two jobbers come out and he and Shane teamed up and Shane beat them up, and you go to backstage where Paige was like, what the hell is going on? And what I loved is that, because usually when you see her on TV, she's fun, she's loving, she's caring, but she snapped into what the hell do you think you're doing? And she's like, get out of my office. And I'm like, I like this. You can have she has both the authoritative side and both the loving and kind side. So it's not like Stephanie where you're like, 20-minute promo coming up. Okay, what's the next segment? It's like, no, you were fully invested. So I think Paige's entire GM run was just beautiful.
Well, here's hoping we can get more. We can get something from her now that they've taken that role away from her.
Yeah.
Because I love Paige. I've always loved her since she was the anti-diva.
Yeah.
And as long as she's on my TV, I'm cool with it. But yeah, I'll go with Paige's ascension to becoming GM, because then everything you just said followed.
Yeah. Kamish?
Paige being GM. Her whole run.
We love you, Soraya.
So.
Don't say it. No. I already know where you're going with the fucking joke.
Oh, we're all on the same page.
There it is.
Dan, did you pick this last one?
I picked it.
So did you.
It's literally all of mine left in here. Oh, no, this is not mine. Match of 2018.
Wait, let me see.
That's you.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so literally, it could be the best match, worst match. Whatever match just stands out to you.
Think I got... Okay, so nominations is the gauntlet match that we had on Raw where Seth wrestled for an hour. Undertaker versus John Cena. Asuka versus Charlotte. Becky versus Charlotte at both Hell in a Cell and Evolution. And Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. Those are my nominations.
I want to throw in the triple threat from TLC. That's it. That's my only addition, because I'm actually okay with everything else that you said.
Kamish?
I'm gonna go with let's see, where are these matches in my opinion? Let's see. Charlotte versus Becky at Evolution. Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series.
Ooh.
Just because I like that I finally got to see Brock actually have to force himself to compete instead of doing finishers. Where is it? Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell.
I was gonna say,
Jeff got to live out his dream
of going through a table from the top of the cell.
Jesus.
and he clearly saw Randy move out of the way.
What else? What's another one?
If I could throw this in there, AJ versus Daniel Bryan at TLC. Really good match. 21 minutes of just a match where they slowly build it up, in ring psychology, telling a story. Loved it.
Well, I was gonna say AJ versus Daniel at SmackDown.
Which one?
When Bryan won the title?
Because that was a really good match, because that's when you got to see the best turn ever, in my opinion.
I just remembered this. Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas in NXT. 5-star match. I literally felt something in the middle of that match. I literally had a sensational experience. I'm like, oh shit. So that doesn't happen at all ever. So I'm going to throw that in there as a nomination.
And last one, Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander.
Yep. That's another one.
What is the greatest show ever?
Super Showdown?
Super Showdown, yeah. Just because
it was the greatest show ever.
Just because I got to see I think the best cruiserweight match ever in a long time.
The one match that actually delivered on the card?
Yeah. So those are my nominations.
I'm good with all of the things we've gone over so far. I have my winner selected for a couple of reasons.
I think I got mine too. You have yours?
Yeah.
Let's count to 3 and let's spit it out and let's see if we got it.
Well, okay.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen, but okay.
Okay.
1,
2, 3. Charlotte versus Becky.
We fucked that up. Gargano and Black is mine.
Charlotte versus Becky.
Which one?
Evolution.
Yeah.
The reason I went with Gargano
That
and
came so close.
Black is because it told a really good story.
Yes.
There was a really nice progression, and there was a lot of really cool spots in that match.
Yes.
And so, from a technical standpoint and a storytelling perspective, that's probably one of my favorite matches of the year, if not ever, really, because it was a really solid match.
Yes.
So, but no, Becky and Charlotte have also been putting on great matches all year. So,
I just put the Evolution match just because, honestly, like, you got to see what I thought is, like, literally the evolution of the women's roster. What should have been the main event of the whole fucking card. The longest women's, like, what was it? It was considered a last man
standing.
Last women's standing match.
Standing.
And the whole time you're just focused. You're just like right there, like enjoying it.
I was gonna say it's one of those matches where when I was watching, I'm like, okay, they're done, and no, it's like they keep going. Like, and there's another spot, and another spot, and another spot. So, and psychology wise, they also told a great story. So I loved it. However, Becky wasn't really afraid when Charlotte got up off the announce table. So Vince, stop doing that because it's not working, and she's not scared. Okay, thank you.
all right. So here's what I want to do based on how that just went. Let me see yours. Let me see, because I handed you the last question. I want to see what yours is. Okay, so based on who you guys selected for the majority on that last one, which was Becky and Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change this one from best female match of the year to best male match of the year.
Okay, that's fair.
Since we just determined that was apparently the match of the year. So who do we think is the best male match of the year?
Johnny Gargano and
want to go Gargano and Black? What about you?
Gargano and Black.
All right. Good job, guys. So Becky and Charlotte for female, Gargano and Black stole the show for the men. Crushed it. All right. So let's go to our final question.
Kamish?
Superstar who grew the most in 2018. That includes promos, matches, and segments, etc., etc., etc.
Sean's not gonna like my nomination.
Well, guys, that's it for this episode.
No, the show's not over.
Oh.
He can't just end the show out of nowhere.
Dan.
He's gonna steal your bit.
I've said it.
You know what? Here, I'll steal it for him.
Thank you.
Because it has to be asked. Why are you nominating her?
Because you said who's grown the most. I didn't like her at the beginning. I still wouldn't necessarily say that I like her.
He doesn't like her, period.
But tell me she hasn't gotten better. She's gotten better from day one. I still don't like her finisher. I don't like the fact that what the fuck is it? What is she?
The maneuver.
The maneuver. I don't like that she just kind of hugs their arm. It doesn't look dangerous.
Anybody have a rope I can use?
No, you can't hang yourself in here either.
I wasn't gonna hang myself. I was gonna hang him.
No homicide, suicides on the show.
But so yeah, I'll nominate Rhonda based on her growth as a superstar.
Wait,
she still has room to go.
Are you nominating her or are you selecting her as a winner?
No, I'm nominating her.
Okay. Who else?
I'll let one of you guys go while I consider.
Okay, well, from a growing standpoint, I think Daniel Bryan, because I thought that once this guy turned face, he's not going to be able to turn heel, and he proved me wrong. Daniel Bryan, Becky Lynch, definitely. Charlotte, to a certain extent, recently. Those would have been my nomination so far.
Becky, the man, Lynch.
Becky!
The Baxter.
She's one of my nominated picks up there. I can't agree with yours, Dan, just because, honestly,
you can't even acknowledge it?
I can barely acknowledge it. That's the problem.
You don't have to like her, but you can acknowledge that she's grown. That's the fucking point here. It's not like we're voting on...
Okay, The reason why I can't agree with you on her is just because she still finds ways to fuck it up for herself in her growth in regards to her fucking stupid, I'm gonna hit myself, and then attack ya.
Who wants
like
a souvenir?
Fucking idiot. That too. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up during your match. So yeah, I can't agree with you on her. I could say Becky. I could say, Daniel Bryan.
Randy.
Brandy's become something else of himself.
Exactly.
But I can't. Well, yeah, I can throw him in, I guess.
Because let's be honest, for a long time he was that like face where you're like.
Again, I thought it was my turn to speak.
The lazy face.
God, thank you, Sean. I get no time, do I? I got nothing to say, do I?
Now you're just wasting your time.
I know. I just want him to say something.
What?
Thank you. Yeah, those are my picks. Just Becky, Randy, and Charlotte.
Well, Dan, if I could argue with you
Fine.
with this for a minute.
I could argue for a minute.
Quite honestly, if other people who've actually been in the company from day one were given airtime, they would be able to grow as well. Let's be honest. Ronda has been able to shoo everyone else out of the way, and she's been able to take that time for herself. Sasha and Bayley still have not had their main roster match, and that just blows my mind.
I mean, I'm not gonna defend the poor booking. There's plenty of things that have fallen by the wayside because WWE didn't know how to deal with their shit, and didn't know how to listen to the fans. Just give them the fucking closure. Don't start a story. I mean, I don't want to call it blue balls, but WWE has kind of blue balled the fans all year. Like, oh, here's a story. You enjoying this story? Too bad.
Not anymore, you're not, you son of a bitch.
And
this is for calling me fat. I'm gonna go with Becky.
Becky's mine.
Becky.
And
I'll play with you, Becky.
She said it best, where she found her voice in 2018.
Yeah.
So,
like I've said a couple of times on here, I think playing Maddie in the movie kind of gave her a different perspective to think about her character, and it's given her a new light, and it's given her a new energy, and I think that's what everybody is enjoying, is that she finally is breaking away from. We didn't not like her before.
but she was just there.
She was kind of lost in the fray, and now she stands out, and we're listening, Becky.
Dexter.
Come on.
Just tone it down with the whole man thing. Don't overuse that, because it starts becoming the boss for Sasha Banks.
Fuck the May Rouseys.
What the hell was that?
It's Conor McGregor.
Never mind.
In reference to Floyd Mayweather.
So we got through all the topics. Is there any other spontaneous topics that you guys feel like probably came up while we were doing this that you want to throw out there? Worst attires? I got mine.
What's yours?
Ronda Rousey.
All the time.
You know what? I'm just going to throw this topic out there. Who was your least favorite superstar of the year in 2018?
I got mine.
Just go ahead.
Ronda
Rousey.
That's just for him, by the way.
No, let's go with that.
No, why? You only have one pick. You do. Let's be real. You're picking her because of how much you hate her, how much she's ruined everything for others. Who?
Nia.
Well, when we say dislike, do we mean like the person, or do we mean like the way they're being booked? Let's go.
Personal preference. Nia.
Nia.
You
Dean.
hate Nia.
I do hate Nia.
Dean.
You hate Dean now.
Yeah, exactly. He's just becoming annoying. Who else is becoming annoying?
Carmella was up there for me in the beginning.
Yeah, for a minute.
I'm still gonna say Ronda.
I have one more.
Go ahead.
After this. Not
topic?
for this. Yeah.
All right, who do we want to choose for a winner
It's
after this?
between Nia and Ronda.
Nia.
Ronda.
Okay, it's kind of hard because I'm siding with him more on Nia. They're both equally up there. Fine, they both get a win. Congratulations, Nia.
You guys can be co-besties. Co-best in the world.
co-best fucking idiots in the world. But congratulations, Nia. Congratulations, Rhonda, on Worst Superstar
The Razzie Award.
of the Year.
So I think we can probably send it home on this one.
Here we go.
One more into 2019. Who do you think, or who would you like to see most become a... No, not just who do you want to see. Who would you like to see... Maybe this is your answer, too. Who would you most like to see as a title holder in 2019?
Vince McMahon. Just kidding. I gotta think about this one, Sean.
Candidates: Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre.
We'll do a male and a female. Go ahead and do a male and a female for both.
Braun, Drew, Becky, Amber Moon, Nikki Cross when she comes in, Cesaro, Sanity.
I got mine.
Your answers, or
Yeah. Mustafa Ali. I want to see Becky hold the Raw Women's Championship. I would like to see Sami Zayn
Wow.
have a championship.
Yes.
Because I think his comeback is going to be really strong. I'm hoping he gets the push he deserves. You can put the SmackDown Women's belt on Nikki. Develop some kind of rivalry with her and Asuka.
That would be interesting.
Maybe, and this is a strong maybe, I'd like to see Dolph get a Universal Championship.
Yeah.
Those are my picks.
Dan?
I'm gonna go with Finn.
Which belt?
I
Or just the championship in general?
want to see him as WWE champion, so I want him to go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll also have more room to grow and breathe over there. So I'd like to see him as WWE champion. I'd like to see Ember get her hands on a women's title. But obviously I think everybody's kind of in agreement. We want to see Becky take that belt off Ronda. So, Becky for Raw Women's Champion 2019.
I'm there.
You know what? I want to see these belts come into fruition because they've been nominating it for so long. And maybe we could get these two back on Raw for a while. Women's Tag Team Championship. Sasha and Bayley.
Yep. Because I don't know if you guys saw, but Vince as Santa Claus basically introduced it. I'm guessing at WrestleMania they make Sasha and Bayley Raw Women's Tag Team Champions. That's, if you want to put these two back on the right foot, that's how you do it.
Probably.
So who wins?
Probably against Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir.
And then later on in the night, we're gonna build to
Four
what, Dan?
horsewomen of MMA versus.
He's got to say it.
I'm waiting for him to say the other half.
4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
There it is.
After you get a definitive end to Ronda and Becky. Don't give me that no DQ crap.
So who wins? This random.
I think on this one we can all have our own answer.
I'm kind of torn because everyone that I listed, I basically want to become a champion. But the one person who's probably done most with it this year that I've seen has been Becky.
So next year's
I would say
Becky with the Raw.
You put that on her, you're gonna see like some great TV.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Raw great again.
Make Raw great again.
Mara. No.
Murga.
Murga.
Gross.
All right, that's the
So-
Slammys of 2018, according to the Anything Wrestling podcast.
So there you go, guys.
Let's send it home.
We picked our nominations and our winners for our categories for who we thought left a impact in 2018, who might leave an impact in 2019. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all next time.